Hey, how are you guys doing? It's been a while, I know. I think it's been over a month since I last filmed a YouTube video. I'm very sorry, but such is life. So, I did a poll on Instagram asking you guys what you wanted me to film. So the options were how I do my brows then versus how I did my brows before, and the other option was a no makeup look, and the brows won. So that's what we're gonna do today. So yeah, let's get started. Oh, if you have not subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe. And if you do end up liking this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that too. So I am gonna start with how I did my brows before. So what I used before was this. Sorry, by the way, if I keep looking down there. My monitor is down there, and I just want to make sure that I'm in focus because you guys know how my camera is. It focuses on something else. Anyway, so going back to the brows, I used this. This is the Anastasia brow powder in the shade Ebony. So this is what that looks like. Let me just cover the mirror so you guys won't get blinded by the light. And what I do is I just mix the two shades together, just in the middle of the pan, and tap it out. Always remember to tap it out. I then create a shape. So again, this is how I did my brows before, and I thought that it was amazing, and you know, I did such a great job. And I mean, I guess back then it was, but now like the natural brows are coming in, so I'll show that on my other brow. So I just feel get the shape going on. So I always start with the tail first, because my tail is very sparse, as you can see. So just fill in the tail. Now I'm using very little product because this Anastasia eyebrow powder is very pigmented, so a little does go a long way. But sometimes, you know, I get heavy-handed and it turns into Sharpie brows, so I am trying my best not to do that. And then whenever I feel like I have way too much product on there, I just go with the spoolie, very lightly, and do the under part of my brows. Now I'm using a very light hand, because if you just push it in there, it's gonna be way too like stark, and I don't want that. Now when I get to the front of the brows, I just go underneath, and no additional product. My brush just went flying off my hand. No additional product. And I brush them upwards. Yep. And then spoolie again. Brush them out again. And I hold my mirror far and check myself out, see if I'm liking that. And then I just keep doing that. Now I'm gonna do this upper part here, which I could get away with. I really didn't need to put any product here because I find that you don't really need, well, at least for my brows, I don't really need a lot of definition up here. But again, we're doing what I did before. Then I'm gonna just do the tail a bit more because I used to like a really dark tail, and make sure that the line is super crisp up here. I loved that look. I'm just going down on the tail to a point. Now I have a scar right here, so sometimes, you know, gets in the way of having perfect brows, but I work with it. Sometimes the product doesn't want to stick in that part of the skin where the scar is. But right now it's cooperating with me. So I just get my finger and wipe off the excess. And then I go underneath again because I want this to be crisp as well. Next step is I am going to get my concealer. You can use any concealer. I'm just using the Maybelline Age Rewind one. And then I'm going to get like a flat, short brush like this and put some concealer on there. And then I'm going to carve underneath my eyebrows. I mean, I still do this, but I don't find that I always need to do it, especially if I'm having a really good brow day. But back then I always did this, always. I'm trying not to cover the camera because I need to get really close to my face when I do this. And then I just take my pinky or any of my fingers and blend that. Alright, and then final step, I am going to take a brow mascara. The one I used to use was the Wet n Wild one, but you know, I used that all up. I have this one with me. This is the Strokes Brow Colorist, yes, that's what it's called. And it's in the shade Neutral Brown. Now this isn't really the right shade for me, but this is all I have. I don't have any brow mascaras on hand anymore, just this one. So let's just pretend that this is the Wet n Wild one that I used to use. What I do like about this product is the brush. If you can see, if it will, there you go. There's like a flat end to it, and then like a round, the other side is a round end, so I really like that. But the shade isn't correct for what I like, thus I don't really use this product, and I don't really think it does anything for my brows, honestly. You tell me, like, when I'm done, let me know if you see like a little tint, because when I look at it, I don't see anything. And my brows tend to, or the yeah, the hair on my brows, they move. They're not like solid like the soap brows that I do. But anyway, this is just for the purpose of showing you how I used to do my brows. So just brushing that through. I like the front of my brows even before to look as natural as possible. But you know, it doesn't always end up that way. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Now let's move on to this brow and I'll show you how I do my brows now. Alright, so let's move on to how I do my brows now. So I'm gonna take soap. So we're gonna do the soap brow thing, literally. And this is just water. I'm gonna spray about 2 sprays of water onto my soap, and taking my spoolie, yes, I bent it so it's easier to get in there, and then I'm gonna grab the part where there's water and then scoot over the part where there isn't like a pool of water. So just wetting my brush and then scrubbing it in. That's probably way too much, but we'll work with it. So what I do is I take that and I just brush the hairs on the opposite side. I scratched myself here. Sorry if you can see that. Anyway, so I just brush the hairs opposite on how they grow. And then, once I'm happy with that, I'll then go ahead and brush them the way I want them to go. So I'm using a very light hand as well because I used to do this and I used to like really press on my skin and on the hairs. But I found that it just clumps up the brow hairs and the soap. So the key here is a very light hand when you're brushing them in place. So when I'm on the tail of the brow, I brush outwards, and the front, I brush upwards. And then when I get to the middle part, I do like a little curve thingy right here, if you can see what I'm doing. So it's like a swoop. So I just keep doing that until I'm happy with how they are looking. And remember not to fuss with them too much, because once the soap is like, you know, getting dry, you'll just make them super duper crusty, and again they'll bunch up together. So once you're starting to feel that this you know, settling down, it's getting dry, that means you have a little play time, so work quickly. But if you do need to go back, what I do is I just wet my spoolie again. So I'll just show you. I wet my spoolie, just one spritz, and then I go back. And that allows me to play with the hairs a bit more. Okay, so that's how they're looking now. I let them sit for a bit. I don't touch them for like a minute or so, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'll be right back once they're set. Okay, so it's been about a minute. Now I'm gonna go in with the brow pen. So the one that I use, and it's like my all-time favorite brow pen, or at least for a local brand, is the Strokes Microblade Pen Perfector in the shade Graphite. So this is that. It's my favorite brow pen. It works really, really well. So I just shake it up a bit. There's a ball in there if you can hear that. So I shake it up a bit, and then I do like the strokes. So this brow doesn't really need a lot. This is the one that I have the struggle with, especially with the tail part, but this brow not so much, because I do have more hair on the tail here, but I just want to fill in like little gaps. So I have to stay quiet for this. I'm really sorry. So I'll just show you. I made a mistake there, but that's okay. We can just wipe it off. So again, as you can see, I'm just, you know, filling in the little gaps with I'm trying to use such a very light hand, because I'm very heavy-handed, so it's quite difficult for me to do this, but practice makes perfect. I think I'm getting better at it. So when you're on the tail part of the brow, you want to go like outwards down, not, you know what, as you can see what I was doing before, I was following the hair, how the hair flows on this part, but when you're at the tip of the brow, you want to go out, so starting here and then pulling out, because you want to create that natural tail. Now, I am still practicing, so there are days that I don't like how it turns out, but I think today is working for me. So that's pretty much it for the tail. Now I'm moving to this part right here. If you can see, in this middle part here, I have a keloid right there, or a scar from when I had chickenpox as a child. So the hair does not grow on that part, so I just fill that in. Again, very light hand, trying very best to use that light hand. And sorry, I just have to say, when I see people use these types of products like the pen brow products, and they literally draw like a line and color the brows in, that's not how you're supposed to use a product like this. You're supposed to use it to make it look like individual hair strokes. Just a mini rant. So I'm just gonna keep doing that all throughout the brow wherever I see like sparse areas. And let me just look okay, that's looking pretty good. And then in the middle part, I don't really need, I mean, not the middle, the front part. I don't really need a lot, but there is a bald spot here that I fill in. As you can see, my hand is on the end of the pen. That way, there's not too much pressure on it. So that also helps to keep the strokes light. Now, next step is I'm gonna get my spoolie, and I'm gonna brush the front part out because I don't like how it's looking right now. So I'm gonna take the spoolie and brush this part out. Yeah, okay. That looks better. Again, because we have that soap, I'm just, you know, not pushing too hard. Just very, very lightly. Try to blend out that additional product that's on the brow that I don't need. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So again, this is how I did my brows before versus how I do them now. And again, sometimes I do go over the what's this called, like underneath the brows with concealer, but right now I don't think I need it, so I'm not gonna do it. So don't do things on your face or makeup because other people are doing it, social media, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. It's not necessary, honestly. If you're looking at yourself and you think, oh, I don't need that step, then don't do it. It's just, you know, waste of additional product, waste of time as well. So again, just look at yourself, look at your brows, assess what you think about them, and if you do need to clean up underneath, then go ahead and do that. But if you think you don't, then it's not necessary. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and something I learned from my sister Ray, who is a professional makeup artist, if the soap brows does not work for you, if your if your eyebrow hairs still like fall and not stay in place, then you can try lash glue. I tried that and it stayed like for the whole day. My brows did not move at all in this humid weather. You guys know I live in the Philippines and it's very, very, very humid here right now. So yeah, lash glue really, really works. Now I do have to say with lash glue, it's more difficult because you have less playtime. If you guys are interested on seeing how I do that to my brows, let me know and I'll film that for you. So I hope you guys learned something from this video and you enjoyed watching me. I look really, really weird with a bold brow and a natural brow with absolutely nothing else on my face. I'm looking at the monitor. I look so weird. Like, oh my goodness. I look so weird. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you have not subscribed, please make sure to subscribe. I am trying to hit 200 subscribers before my birthday, which is in August, coming pretty close. So please, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe. And if you do end up liking this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I would really, really appreciate that too. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video.